want to address to. Yes, please, in the middle. André? Thank you.
Wolf von der Welt. Hallo Joshua. Joshua, in Deutschland gibt es große Diskussionen.
Joshua, in Germany, there is a lot of discussions about the One Love armband and the behavior of FIFA, of the German FA. Could you tell us, to what extent were you involved in the decision that was taken amongst the players, amongst the team yesterday, and what's your take on the whole situation? Well, I was barely involved. I think eventually it was just a decision of the FAs, a decision that was supported by everyone, England, France, and all the others. Generally speaking, I was actually quite surprised because a couple of weeks ago, when we discussed the One Love armband, I felt that, yeah, people were criticizing that people thought, a lot of people thought that that was pointless, that it was just basically a fig leaf. But I think it's a strong stance to take. We as players, as association, German association, over the past couple of months, we have addressed the issues, the problems. We had campaigns, such as the human rights campaign. For instance, in Nepal, we will work on donations, on help supporting people. So I think we are quite good at pointing out situations in the world where things aren't going well. But now I think it's time to focus on the sport. Tomorrow we have the first game after 4.5 years. We had to wait quite a long time. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And the fact that Qatar was awarded as the World Cup, I mean, that was 12 years ago. I was 15 at the time. And now I have to keep saying something about this, keep making statements about it. I mean, but we are all very aware that we have time and time again the opportunity to point out mistakes and issues in the world. But we have to be honest with ourselves too. Here, we don't really know and learn a lot about what's going on around us in the world currently because we're busy with practice, with press conferences. We're in our hotel, and you have the opportunity to go out into the world, to go out and look what the situation is in Qatar specifically, because we haven't seen much.
David McDonald from the Daily Mirror newspaper. Sorry, I'll give you. You were part of the Germany squad 4 years ago that finished bottom of the group as holders. It was obviously a difficult experience for the country, for the team. How much motivation is that for you and the rest of the squad as a kind of determination to put right what went wrong back then, this time around?
Ja, also die Motivation ist riesig nach 4,5 Jahren.
After 4.5 years, our motivation is huge. We know that that was nothing, that was terrible what happened 4 years ago. So now we had quite the wait. And tomorrow, it will be very important to start with a good game. The first game is extremely important. We've seen that with the past tournament at the at the Euro. We've seen that we lost the first game, and then we didn't win. So that was quite the experience, and I hope that tomorrow we'll be winning.
Yes, please.
Tobi Altscheffel von Sportbild. Joshua, habt ihr in der
I'm from Sportbild. Joshua, did you discuss within the team to take a different stance today, tomorrow? The General Secretary of the Netherlands, of the Dutch Association, said that she thinks that the maximum punishment would have been a yellow card. Would you have accepted a yellow card as a punishment? Well, I don't know what the sanction would have been exactly. I think our coach just mentioned the same thing. Of course, it was discussed within the team. And I just said this. I think it's important for us as players to take advantage of these platforms that we can point out wrongs in the world, but we have to be able to also focus on the game, regardless where the World Cup is hosted. It is the largest competition, greatest competition out there for us as footballers, and it's every little boy's dream to be here, to participate in a World Cup. So I think that a lot of people try to convince us or have tried to convince us that we shouldn't be looking forward to this time. I feel like at home, many aren't as excited. But actually, I feel like I should be able to look forward to a World Cup, even if it takes place here. So it is a big dream for all of us to be at a World Cup. We all want to play a great tournament. We want to win tomorrow. And all of us really can't help where it takes
Yes,
place.
please.
Danke.
Harry Hau von Sport 1, hallo. Hier.
I'm from Sport 1. Hello.
Hi. Leroy Sané fällt aus. Wie bitter ist der Ausfall für
Leroy
euch?
Sané
Und,
will
welchen
not
Eindruck
be
macht Thomas
playing
Müller
tomorrow.
auf
How
dieser
difficult is that for
Ausschauen,
you?
meiner
And
Meinung
what's your
nach
impression of
für die
Thomas
Startelf?
Müller? Do you think he's ready
Er hatte auf jeden
for
Fall
the
sehr viel
starting
Zeit,
11?
sich fit zu machen. Also so wie ich den Thomas
Well, he had
beobachtet
enough
habe, auch schon
time,
jetzt
and I've
in der
observed
letzten Woche
him
bei Bayern hat er sich
in
wirklich
this last
sehr
week and
gut
the last week with
vorbereitet.
Bayern. Actually, I think he did great in terms of
Auch jetzt im
preparation.
Training habe ich
And
nicht das
here
Gefühl, dass
also in the
er
practice
nicht fit
sessions,
ist.
I
Generell
don't
ist er
think that
ja
he's not in
ein
shape.
Spieler, der
I
eigentlich
think very generally
immer fit ist.
speaking,
Das war jetzt ein
he is
bisschen
a player
untypisch für ihn,
who's
aber ich
always
glaube,
in shape. So that was a
wir
bit
wissen, was er für
atypical
eine Qualität hat
for
und
him, but we know what
wird er
he
sicherlich
has
morgen auch
in terms
zeigen.
of skills and
Dass
quality.
Leroy ausfällt,
And I'm
ist
sure he will show that
extrem bitter,
tomorrow.
weil auch
The fact
er
that we
ein
don't have
Spieler ist, der in
Leroy, of
einer
course, that is
richtig
quite
guten
the
Form
bitter
war
pill to
die
swallow
letzten Wochen. Er war ja
because
dann
he
noch
was absolutely in shape
kurzzeitig
in the
verletzt, aber
past
trotzdem auch
couple of
nach der
weeks.
Verletzung,
However,
fand ich, hat er da wieder
he had an injury, but
gute
still,
Spiele
after the
gezeigt, gerade
injury, he showed
mit
great
seinem
games,
Speed, mit seiner Torgefahr.
especially with his speed,
Ist er, glaube
with
ich,
his
jemand, der jedem
attacks.
Gegner
I
wehtun
think he's
kann und
someone who
jeder
can,
Mannschaft gut
you
tut und
know, do
dementsprechend
some
hoffe ich,
damage to the opponent.
dass er schnell wieder gesund
And
werden
I
helfen
hope
kann.
that he will recover really quickly and can support us here.
Ja, hallo Jo, wir haben noch ganz wenig über dich gesprochen, Marco Mader vom
Hi, we have barely
Sportinformationsdienst.
talked about you. I'm from the Sport
Bist du so
Informationsdienst
als
Information
Rechtsverteidiger ins
Service.
Turnier gegangen, 2021 bei der EM, hast du
So
rechts im Mittelfeld gespielt,
initially
jetzt
you
sollst du die
played
Zentrale
right
steuern.
back,
Wie
then
gehst du
you
denn
played
diese
the
Rolle
right
mit noch viel mehr
midfield,
Verantwortung
the
als bei den
center
vorangegangenen
forward,
Turnieren an? Danke.
center back, and what is
Ja,
now
ähnlich
in terms of
fokussiert eigentlich
position? What are you
wie die
looking
letzten Turniere.
for, or how's your focus?
Jetzt ist es so, dass
Well,
ich
similar compared to
voraussichte
other
oder ja, dass ich
tournaments.
auf der Position spiele,
Playing
wie
on
ich
this
jetzt die
current
letzten Jahre immer
position,
gespielt habe. Bei der Euro war es ja dann ein
you know,
Wechsel
it's something I
kurz
am
vorm Turnier.
used to
2018 war die
or have gotten
Rechtsverteidigerposition
used to in
noch
the last couple
meine
of years.
Position.
At the Euro,
Ich
I
freue mich,
was
dass ich jetzt mal
still
ein Turnier im zentralen
as
Mittelfeld
a right
spielen
back,
kann, dass ich ja, die
but
Chance
now
dazu habe
I'm
und
playing
ja,
a
dementsprechend
center back,
freue ich mich auf die
and
Spiele. Ich glaube,
that is why
Verantwortung
I'm
hat am
looking
Ende des
forward to these
Tages
games. It's something I'm
jeder in
familiar
unserer
with,
Mannschaft
and
für den Erfolg.
at the end of the day,
Deswegen sind wir auch
we
hier und
all
ich glaube,
hope for
dass
success.
jeder
That's
Spieler und
why
jeder
we're
Funktionär bei
here.
uns
And I think
sehr, sehr
every
wichtig ist
player,
und sehr, sehr
every
wichtig sein wird,
official
gerade wenn der
is
Turnierlauf
important,
hoffentlich lange geht.
especially if you stay in the tournament for
We
a long
take
time,
the last
hopefully.
question. We kindly ask the written press not to shoot and film, please, during the session. Yes, last question in the middle, please. Thank you very much.
Herr Kimmich, Daichi Kamada
Last
von
question.
Eintracht Frankfurt, den kennen Sie schon von der Bundesliga. Ist es
Kamada
möglich,
from Eintracht
dass
Frankfurt, you
Sie
know him
während
very
dieses
well from the
Spiels
Bundesliga.
vielleicht Daichi
Is
Kamada
it
begegnen?
possible that
Wie würden
you, well, I
Sie
mean,
seine
you might have an
Stärken
encounter with
einordnen?
Daichi Kamada in the game. So
Ist
how
ein
would you
sehr
assess his strengths?
spielintelligenter Spieler, also sehr
It is,
spielfreundlich, gut
he
am
is a player
Ball.
who's very smart,
Jetzt zuletzt in
has a
der
lot of
Bundesliga
intelligence for the
hat er
game.
auch einige
And in
Tore
the
gemacht. Ich
Bundesliga, he
glaube, ein
actually
Spiel
scored
sogar
quite a few
zweimal nach Freistoß.
goals. I think even 2 in one
Ja,
game after
generell
a
muss man sagen,
free
dass die
kick.
Japaner ja
And
viele
generally
Spieler haben aus der
speaking,
Bundesliga.
we have
Dementsprechend
to say
kennen wir den einen
or
oder anderen
see that
Spieler.
many players of
Sie sind
Japan play in the
fast
Bundesliga.
alle, glaube ich, sehr
And I
schnell und
think
wendig,
almost
sehr
all of them are
spielstark,
very agile, very
verfügen über
fast, and
eine
are
gute
strong
Technik.
players. They have great
Dementsprechend
technique.
müssen wir Obacht
So,
geben, wir sind auf der Hut.
yes, we have to be careful. Have to watch ourselves.
Fertig?
Are we shown, yeah?
Are we done?